What's up? It's your boy Lyan. How's it going? So today's subject is culture and location. Let's talk about my location. I live in Southern California. I live in between Los Angeles and San Diego. I live in a small town right now called Oceanside. It's not small, I'm just joking. It's a pretty big town. It's called Oceanside. It's right next to the beach. I don't think it's well known, but it's nice enough. I don't think I had any problems transitioning per my location. I think that living here has been relatively nice. I actually moved back to California from Michigan because I didn't think that in Michigan, where I was living, because I was living in a very small town called Coleman, Michigan. There was like 400 people or something like that lived there. It's where my dad's from. And I had an encounter of somebody calling me the N-word. Me. Do you see this high yellow? It's all high yellow right here. And I've been, people thought I was Puerto Rican, people thought I was Mexican, people have thought I was Filipino, people have thought I was Samoan, but I never had somebody just flat out call me the N-word. So I didn't feel comfortable transitioning when I lived in Michigan. But that's when I had finally made my decision, is when I lived out there. Let's see, what was I gonna say? Ooh, I had to throw something away. But I love California, and California, I knew that when I moved here, because of the laws and how they affect the insurance, that I knew that transgender services, under several insurances that are covered through in California, the transgender services are covered completely. So I have a great insurance. My insurance covers all my hormones. It damn near covered my top surgery. And because of where I live, I have those things that I'm able to obtain. So, gotta love Cali. Let's see, culturally, my family, I was raised Jehovah's Witness, and then my mom converted to Mormonism. So a good portion of my family is Jehovah's Witness. If you don't know what a Jehovah's Witness is, let me give you a little rundown. They don't do holidays, they don't do birthdays. All that is not okay. And then Mormons, they do all birthdays, they do all the holidays, they do everything. So that was a big culture shock for me when I was 12. And that definitely affected my transition. Having my family be so religious on two different spectrums, because I have some family that's Jehovah's Witness, some family that's Mormon, and always when I had come out as lesbian, years ago when I was 14, that was huge. Like, it was a big deal to everybody. I was getting told I was going to hell, like all this. My bishop did an entire sermon about it, and I just remember being so terrified, and I had felt like I was a boy, or a man, I guess now, for so long. Like, I remember being little and telling my mom that I believed I was one, and my mom goes, no, you're not. And I don't know if that was just, my mom would tell me, oh, you're a tomboy, you just like to play with the boys, but you're not a boy. And it's just the thing, like, that's what parents, I guess, would tell kids back then, and that's how I grew up, was with my mom telling me that, because it wasn't like she knew. I don't think that the knowledge was out there. She didn't have the information to know that I was a little boy, and that's not her fault. And it's great that I decided to transition at the age that I am, which nobody needs to know because I'm old AF. But yeah, coming out was scary. I was definitely afraid to come out to my grandmother. She was the one I was most terrified of, to tell, because she's, Jehovah's Witness. So I thought that I was going to not be able to talk to her, because in their religion, they stop talking to people. It happens. And my aunt, had done it to me. When I came out as lesbian, my aunt didn't talk to me for like 3 3 to 5 years, something like that. Started talking to me again, and then things got a little awkward. We're not talking again. More so on my wants and needs this time, and it's because of her religious beliefs that it gets so uncomfortable carrying on conversations, and I don't want to feel not validated in who I am, and so I cut those people out. You know, the people that make me feel uncomfortable, and she's one of them. So culturally, she does not fit in for me. But my grandma, she was amazing. I had thought that I was going to have a problem, with her, and it turns out she's the greatest thing ever. She has a whole lot of fuck it in her, apparently. Sorry to cuss, but it's like she got older and it was like, F it. I don't care about anything. When I came out as a lesbian, it was like, oh, are you sure this is what you want? And we kind of had this unspoken thing where we didn't talk about it really, or I didn't really bring people around too much. But when I came out as trans, it was so smooth within my family. It was they were like, yeah, this makes sense. And how they couldn't accept one but it could accept the other, I don't understand. But they did. And my grandma definitely, took on my trans identity, and full on. She's so accepting and so loving and so caring. She calls me he, and tells people, oh, that's my grandson, and is so proud of who I am, which I wasn't expecting, especially from her. And I'm so proud to be her grandson. So I guess that's all I have to say about culture and stuff. Where I live has been great. Culturally, I everybody has a few hiccups. And I'm sure there's other people out there that have other kinds of, cultural diversities that I haven't experienced. And I haven't experienced too much problems with my transition, where people have been rude or disrespectful about who I am. And the people that have, I just cut out, because you don't like me, you can't talk to me, because I'm too good for that. Just kidding. But no, really, I don't talk to anybody that makes me feel negatively about myself. So culturally, I culturally assess myself and make myself take care of myself. And all the people that are around me, if they don't take care of this and aren't with this, just snip, snip, snip. All right, that's out. Lyan out.